homesteading to prepping to common horse sense, we are College Hill Farm. Welcome back to College Hill Farm. Well, today I feel pretty tough. I got out this morning and I planted my corn and my pole beans, planted corn and cold pole beans. But by 9 o'clock I'm going to call it a day. Yesterday, of course, I mowed my hay field right back here. Let me show you. There's my hay field. It's going to need raked soon, but you know, that's what it is. I can't do it today. So, why am I feeling so sick? Well, I cut my hay field, and that didn't contribute to me being sick at all. But around my property, I have a plant that every time I mow it, it makes me sick. It makes me nauseated. It makes me real weak the next day. And I'm going to show you what it is. It's this. This is called poison hemlock. Now, I'll be washing my hands when I get out of here. I'm done for the day, so I'm going straight to the place where I can wash my hands. This is called poison hemlock. Now, it looks a lot like wild parsnip or Queen Anne's lace, or, you know, there's a lot of different plants it looks like. But my property is covered with it, and it has been for a long time. And I've got it out of my hay field, except for one or two that come up every year, and I come back and cut those off and make it so that they can't go to seed. And I've got most of my pasture where there is no hemlock except in the margins. But I can never get rid of this, because each one of these flowers puts out 1,000 seeds. And right over here in the road right away, there's tons of it. Okay, so it's always blowing over onto my property. I can never kill it out. I've sprayed it, I've cut it, I've done everything I can, and I've come to the conclusion I'm going to have to live with it. So, I mow this about once a year. About the time it starts to flower, I get out and mow this crap so that it can't go to seed. Okay? Here's the difference. See here on the stem, these little purple-like stuff? That's what separates it from Queen Anne's lace and wild parsnip and all that stuff, okay? So, every part of this plant is poisonous. The flowers, the stems, the leaves, and especially the roots. Okay? It's poisonous to animals. Goats will eat it a little bit, but it tastes bad, so they won't eat it a lot. So that's one bonus. Sheep won't eat it much either, neither will cows. You can go by around here. Let me get this out of my hand. You can go by around here, and everywhere that there's a cattle field or a cattle ranch or a goat ranch, there's hemlock in the margins, because they don't eat that. But they eat everything else, and they keep the hemlock knocked down. They'll eat it more when it's little short stuff. They'll eat it because they get it in with the grass, and a little bit of hemlock's not going to hurt them. But in ancient Greece, that's the way they poisoned Socrates for talking out against the state. Okay, so I'm going to go in. It takes about 2 days for this malaise that it gives me. I don't know if it's because I inhale the dust of it. Maybe a dust mask would help. I've tried wearing a face mask doing this, and it doesn't appear to make any difference. I take my clothes off when I get done. I wash them. Okay, this stuff's just bad news, and I just have to deal with it. It's just what it is. I have to deal with it. Here it is in the margins of my hay field, and I may come through and cut a bunch of this down by hand, but it about don't do me no good. So I've pretty much just made sure I mow it close to it, so that it can't expand out into my mowed areas, and that's the only way to control it that I have found. Mechanical control. It appears that once it's big like this, you spray it, it don't do nothing to it. Nothing. I don't care what you spray. I've tried all kinds of spray on it. Nothing. And as far as the bees, okay, bees don't get on this. Okay, so spraying this won't hurt the bees. The bees won't get on it because it's poison. They know it. They're smarter than we are. Trust me. Okay, now if you like this stuff, this homesteading, do-it-yourself kind of thing, be certain to come on out to the channel and subscribe. We do this homesteading stuff every week, sometimes 1, sometimes 5 videos. Just depends on what's going on in the homestead that week. Now if you hit the little bell when you come to the channel, it'll notify you when we upload a video. We upload every Sunday. Now, with that being said, time for me to get on to the next thing.